This week on Off the Hook, Week 2 of college football is in the books. Upsets, blowouts, plenty of lines that made no sense after kickoff. NFL Week 1 did not disappoint. Kicked off with a Thursday night NFC East slugfest between the Eagles and Cowboys. From Thursday night lights to Sunday's madness, we'll break down who looked sharp, who looked lost, and where the betting edge showed up. That sets the stage for a recap of Cash It or Trash It, our chance to grade last week's picks and see if we're geniuses or just donating to the sports books. Next, we'll hit opening lines with the biggest sports headlines and see how the betting markets are reacting. We'll also debut the James Franklin Clown Award, where we select the Clown of the Week. We'll swing through the MLB Playoff Watch, then go across the board to break down the biggest games across all sports, the matchups you can't ignore even if you're not betting them. The show wraps up by closing the books with another round of Cash It or Trash It, where we pick the games that will either pay the bills or buy us a one-way ticket to the poorhouse. It's Off the Hook, where we sweat the spreads so you don't have to. Let's go.
So with gambling, there's no such thing as losers. There's winners and quitters. So you just got to keep going and just keep. And you got to and you phone a friend and you borrow money. You borrow from your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, and just friends. And then there's no such thing as losing. It's a winning sport.
Welcome in. The lines are set, the bets are in, and we're breaking it all down with more angles in a geometry class. Winners, losers, and everything in between. This is Off the Hook, sports talk that pays off, September 11th, 2025. Mike, what's happening?
Let's get it.
Week 3 college football, Week 2 of NFL. Man, how do we make it like all these months without football? I mean, has not been a letdown.
If it wasn't college football, the only thing that gets me going like this is college basketball. But give me both of those seasons. I'm happy all year round.
Hell yeah, I'll take it. I just hope we don't just burst our bubble too soon. we got great games. We thought Week 2 of college football was going to be so-so. It turned out to be better than expected, I guess. And then the NFL. I can't remember NFL Week 1. With so many good games.
No, I'll tell you what. If you guys aren't a fan of the Red Zone channel, you guys don't know what you're missing, man.
7 hours, nuts.
Yeah, it's electric. If you guys, I think every first week it's a free trial. I don't know if you guys take advantage of that or not, but I get the NFL Red Zone channel. That's all I watch all day long once the Eagles game's over. But yeah, you get to see all the best parts of every game.
So let me ask you. I wasn't watching the Red Zone, but I just heard from other people who had it. Were they literally showing like every Travis Hunter catch, regardless if he was like in the red? Like it was like a 4-yard catch. Like, Travis Hunter. Like
they showed some Travis Hunter stuff. I don't think it was every time he touched the ball though.
Okay. I mean, I'm just waiting to see how long it takes ESPN to fuck this up with the Red Zone out there on this Mickey Mouse shit on there.
Honestly, it doesn't look like anything changed on it when they did.
Well, that's good. That's good. Hopefully they keep it that way, but I mean, we'll see. But yeah, I have so many notes to try to condense this down. It's like there's so much. I mean, between college and NFL, I feel like there's baseball shit going on, but it's like, I don't even want to talk about baseball.
We're almost going to have to pass on the baseball until the playoff starts. But
I don't even care about golf until the Masters.
On. Yeah, exactly.
Ryder Cup gives a shit.
We'll talk about the Ryder Cup a little bit, but
maybe
we got more important stuff to go over now. Yeah. Let's get this thing rolling.
Yeah, we're just going to roll right in here to opening lines or sports headlines to meet the betting market reactions.
Money talks and bullshit walks. Hey.
Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions.
Nothing new for trash like you.
All right, Mike, here it is. Here's the graded report card from last week. Not one of the better weeks that we had, but collectively as a program, we were at 53%. You were 4-3-1. You pushed on the UConn game, and I was 4-4-1, pushed on the James Madison.
Yeah, our graphics we have UConn and James Madison there. It actually is a push. were trying to get tricky there and maybe thought you guys wouldn't catch it. No, the truth is it was an honest mistake. UConn is a push and James Madison was a push, but hey, we're still doing all right.
Yeah. So it's kind of not a loss, not a win. It's kind of in between. So I guess I could have put like a fucking other color in there. But
P. Yeah, maybe color code it a little differently or put a P or push.
Yeah.
We'll be better next time.
We'll do better. We got to get a new producer, a new graphic designer. Right. We are at about a 57% overall for the program. We're right there at that. That's like the sweet spot, 55 to 60%, because you're not going to win everything.
Teams are still getting an identity. We're still trying to figure out what teams actually are. It only gets better from here.
Yeah. And listen, if there's some other service out there or podcast or whoever that's telling you that there's 70, 80% winners every week, they're lying to you. I mean, let's be honest. There's no way. And most likely those services are dishing out more picks and they're not winning all those games. If they are, like I said, they're lying to you because you got to hit at least 52.8% of your bets to even break even with all the tax or the VIG that you pay just to make the bet. So if somebody is telling you that there's 70, 80% every week, you should probably not listen to that. Just listen to us and we'll steer you in the right direction.
Best call in college football, I will have to go with, I'm going to say it was the Boston College game. Kind of went exactly how I thought it would. BC hung in there pretty much all game.
Yeah.
You know, couple ball bounces a couple different ways. I think they might even had a chance to win that game. But, yeah, it went the way I expected it to go. So that'll be my best call in college football. And then if in NFL, I'd have to say my best call was the Packers. It made that look pretty easy.
Yeah.
How about you?
So shockingly, the Packers came out and just the Lions never had a chance from the kickoff. Yeah. They just dominated. Yeah, the best call of mine, so for NFL, Chargers getting 3 against the Chiefs. Usually the Chiefs are good to cover because they're the Chiefs, right? But man, that Chargers team, look, if they play like that all year, they're going to be fun to watch.
They got a quarterback on their team, don't they?
Yeah. It took them a little bit to develop the kid. Finally, it's a pass first, run second offense. I mean, you could see that's what needed. Right? And the coaches that are in place, he's got weapons around him. I mean, it was almost like a flawless game. I mean, I was shocked, honestly. I feel like the score was closer than what it really was because I just feel like the Chargers, even though it was kind of back and forth at some points, I feel like the Chargers just dominated the game.
Felt that they were in doubt, right? I felt the same way.
Was it 13-12 at one point, I believe? And I was like, they're still going to win. I just felt that they had the edge overall. So that was exciting to see. I was happy with that. If I had to pick another best call, I don't even have a college best call, but I guess I'll take credit for that shitty 6-point teaser that I threw out there as a flyer, but it somehow hit. But.
Well, listen, the James Madison game, although it was a push, that was the winning side. I don't mean winning outright, but supposed to cover. Listen, that defense kept them in that game, and UConn just maybe out-endured them at the end of the game, but that game was set. Yeah, I'm sorry, Louisville. Yeah, James Madison. They were set up to cover that game, and you just got a bad line too. You got on it a little too late, but you were on the right side. You really were.
That's the important thing, Mike, that we keep stressing. And I did get on it late. You had it
16 and a half.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. And I was iffy at first. I wasn't sure, and then I waited too long, and I still thought I'd be safe for 14. Now,
and you were safe.
I was safe. I mean, I guess it's
difference between dating your sister or dating your sister's hot friend, I guess.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Sometimes you wait to the last minute because you're not sure, and it actually works in your favor. Like maybe you're like the line's sitting at 2.5, and you're like, I just need that 3. If I get it to 3, I'm okay, right? Or sitting at 3, and you're like, I'd feel better with that hook in 3.5, and then you get it. Right. So it's one of those things where if it's something that you're thinking about and you like the number to start, just lock it in because I would say it's probably going to hurt you more than it's going to help you.
You're going to, as you do this longer and you're in this a number of years, you know early in a week which way the line's going to move. You know which games you have to get on early. Yeah. That's what we're here to help you out with. But the problem is we can only get this podcast out to you Thursdays. So that's the earliest you're going to get. So start looking at these Thursday and placing your bets on Thursdays.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we'll do a better job of even throwing some feelers out there early in the week before we even, launch this episode.
Yeah.
Thursday,
even if we can't do a podcast, maybe get something out there and print it.
Right. Just a little flash like, hey, lines are moving on this game. Take a look at it if it's something you're interested in. But what about your worst
call?
Yeah.
Yeah. Worst call in NFL is the only one I lost. I don't really even think it was a bad call. It was my only loser. I was 3-1 in the NFL, and I thought I really was going 4-0. The Bears really disappointed with that fourth quarter shit show. So I'm gonna have to go NFL Bears. Worst call. College football. Worst call is going to be Cincinnati. Cincinnati, they had plenty of opportunities to pull away in this game, and every time you thought they were pulling away, their defense would give up a score. It kind of seemed like they were almost disinterested at some points. It was hard to watch because they were clearly the better team. They just they couldn't get a stop when you wanted them to cover. So yeah, I wouldn't bet that game again. So I'd say that was my worst call. You?
Yeah. The fucking Giants, man, they suck.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking at the trends and numbers, and they're, Quinn is 1-6 against spread. All this dumb bullshit. Meanwhile, I should have just been like, listen, the Giants have Russell Wilson. Do you really think they're going to go to Washington and even cover against the Redskins?
And a fucking loser coach too. Listen, I'm there with you. It's a freaking romantic pick. Like, you're looking at that in the beginning of the season, you're like, you know what? Giants win total over 2. Like, you want them to be good. You want to be right. And you're thinking all these other people are behind, they're a little late coming to the party, and the Giants are going to be good. Cause I was with you. I thought, you know what? They could be a decent team. They're not going to be great, right? But they just come out and disappoint just like they always fucking did.
From the start, they weren't even in that game. The first drive, I'm watching them. I'm like, this isn't, I have got no shot. I got a prayer in this game.
Start dart. Let's end this Russell Wilson show.
Right? I mean, don't you have enough tape on this guy the last few years, how bad he sucked?
Yeah.
Let's ride. Yeah, fuck you, you idiot. So, the Giants, they can go suck it. Whatever.
Yeah.
And you know what's sad is I did, was it the college football show? We were still doing the futures. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll take the Giants over because it seems like everybody, the easy play is they have the toughest schedule. I'll take the over, was it 5.5 or 6 or whatever? Oh, what a dummy. Like, I just, the only chance I have is if Daboll has a fucking brain and puts Jackson Dart in sooner than later, like next week, which he's not. But that's the only shot I got at collecting on that ticket. Because if he keeps riding this Russell Wilson train, this is going to be bad. They might be worse than the Saints. That team sucks.
Yeah.
They're definitely worse than the other team they showed the billing with, the Jets, Jets.
Oh,
Jets.
no question. Not even close.
Not even close.
Bet regret. Bet regret for me. My NFL bet regret. What was my NFL bet regret? I know I mentioned this earlier. I got to put my thinking cap on here.
There was one you texted me that you didn't.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you my college bet regret first. My college bet regret is not taking on the podcast, taking Florida International. I ended up betting them early in the week. I just thought Penn State would come out flat. They did. Going into the second quarter, they were barely scored any points. I don't remember exactly what it was, but there were zeros on the board for a while. But I just never mentioned it on the podcast. So I don't regret not betting it because I did, but I regret not sharing it. Yeah. And the NFL game, you know what? I don't know. I guess I didn't love anything that much to it was the Browns. No, I did take the Browns. I did take the Browns on here. Yeah, you know what? I don't have a bet regret in NFL.
You were 3-1 in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
So
how about you?
You're gonna love this. I got 2. I have a bet regret for this week, and we're just fucking starting this week. You're going to love this shit. So
how can you regret not betting something if it's already...
Oh, no, I actually regret betting something because I'm an idiot.
Okay.
So I was in my sports book today looking at some picks before the show, trying to just, put stuff together. What am I going to take? What am I going to roll with here? And the app froze. So I restarted the app and thought I cleared my bet slip. One of the teams that I was sure to take, I took, but I never checked my bet slip and just hit bet. and now I'm locked in a 2-team parlay. One team for a money line that has like a point.
Is it at least a favorite?
No.
God.
I'm going to tell you. I'm just going to tell you who it is. I'll give it away. I shouldn't give it. So I ended up somehow. We'll get to our cash or trash it for this week when we break down some of these games. And one of the teams that I was thinking or on the fence of was Temple. So as I'm contemplating Temple, I had to, I'm like, well,
you got Temple money line.
I did, because I had Temple money line in there, because at the time, now this was earlier today, so it has moved down. This was when the money line was plus 1,100. And I'm like, this is a trap game. It's one of those situational games for Oklahoma, right? We'll get into that. But I had that in there, was contemplating it. And then my other pick that I took the points with that team, thinking they'll cover. I didn't realize.
Oh, you did same team parlay.
Well, I had the Temple. I had the Temple money line
and Temple plus the points.
No, another team plus the points.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I just had the money line there because I was plus 1,100. Maybe I was on the fence, right?
I see.
I had the Temple money line on my bet slip, and the other team that I was taking with the points in a different game. Didn't realize Temple was still in there until I hit submit, and then I looked at to make sure the bet went through. I'm like, how the fuck is Temple? And they're like, oh fuck. So now I'm stuck with a Temple money line. So that,
nice.
Dude, that's pretty much a regret, because
look at it this way. You're not on the fence anymore.
No, I'm not. I guess I'm all in.
You're on the other side of the fence looking up at the high fence.
And don't ever do this, but if you're going to bet, just let it ride. Don't fucking cash out. Now, I could have cashed out and lost some money, but I look at it this way. Look, it's kind of like if you ever bought a lottery ticket, and sometimes I bought lottery tickets in the past and I've given numbers and they've given me the wrong numbers on the ticket. Now I could hand that ticket back to them and say, hey, give me the right one. But I feel like, maybe that's a good thing. They made a mistake. Maybe I'll win. Never happened. But so I'm not cashing out. I'm not losing money. I'll ride with it, because my luck would be Temple would hit the money line. And so I already got a bet regret going into next week, because if Temple loses, that'll be my bet regret. So
that's the first bet regret I ever heard like that, but why not?
The actual bet regret for this week, and I actually got a clip of this fucking clown, Lane Kiffin. Listen, I've been a supporter of Lane Kiffin. I like Lane Kiffin. This idiot, I thought last year, Kentucky knocked you out of the playoffs. You had a really good team. You shit the bed. You lost to Kentucky at the end of the season, put you out of the playoffs.
Put it on him.
He was real basic the week before. Didn't really show much. I'm like, all right, he's going to just run it up against Kentucky. This fucking nitwit, end of the game, decides he's not even going to fucking cover the spread.
You know why he's not going to cover? It's because he had the other side. That's why he didn't cover, that clown.
Yeah. Why don't the NCAA investigate Lane Kiffin and look at his book and see what the hell he's doing?
You may want to.
Yeah. So that's my bet regret. As a matter of fact, I have an audio clip of this clown, and we can dissect this, because I know it's not one of your regrets, but you had the over 53.5, and the final total was, I believe it was 53. So you lost by the hook. So he even screwed you. So this guy, what the hell? What are we doing? Lane Kiffin, screw you. Oh, we're going to get to that Lane Kiffin clip. I want to mention, though, he's not the winner of the James Franklin Clown of the Week award. Although he could be any other week. He would have been, because I'm sure you would have given your nomination for him, because he screwed you, too, on this ticket.
Absolutely.
So, but since he's a runner-up, and the audio that we're going to share, not only did he not cover the over or the spread, he comes out and basically throws it in our face if you bet him. So right away, automatic Clown of the Week. But he didn't get it because there's some other nitwit that was even worse than that, believe it or not. So we're going to get into the Lane Kiffin clip, and then we'll roll, since we're talking about James Franklin as a clown. We'll just roll right into who the actual winner of that award is. All right, Mike. So here's Lane Kiffin after he did not cover the spread.
And, they thought, that's a really hard team that plays really close games. So proud of our guys. Sorry to a lot of gamblers there at the end.
Just shows you Some of these coaches know what that, not some of them, most of them know what the line is. You just have to decipher which coaches care about it and which don't. Usually the one that's running it up, but he's usually the one trying to get that.
The whole end of the game was just nonsense. I'm watching in disbelief. I'm like, what are you doing? Whatever. So he did not get the award. This person who won wouldn't have done what they did.
She's clearly deserving.
Yeah. So here's the winner of the James Franklin Clown of the Week award. I mean, if you haven't seen this, you must be living under a rock.
Yeah, so if you didn't see it, just recapping what happened. It was a Phillies game. There was a home run hit. Lady was sitting in a row, I believe it was with her husband. The ball landed in the row in front of her. Some guy in that same row that the ball landed in, but I'd say he's probably about 10 to 12 seats down the row, gets up, runs over, picks up the ball, and walks back to his seat, puts the ball in his son's glove, gives his kid an embrace. Within about 5 seconds, this woman comes storming over to him, scares the guy because she walked up behind him and like touched him. And she starts bitching at him for taking the ball that was in their area. It was their ball. And the argument goes on, what do you say, maybe 15 seconds. And the guy finally just gives in because he doesn't want to create a scene and gives the ball to the lady and she walks away. Unreal.
I think the guy was caught off guard. I think he didn't
know
like
for
what
sure
to do. Like he was just like, "What is happening?" Like this.
Yeah,
grown
some
woman.
reason that woman thought she deserved that ball for whatever reason. Even after seeing that, he took it and gave it to his child. She still thought that she was deserving of that ball. And yeah, you know what? She's taken a bit of a beating through the media, but deservingly so in my mind. Absolutely.
I mean, it's a kid. Like
so for that. You got the Clown of the Week award, and you get the song that goes with it.
Fucking James Franklin.
So stay tuned for next week, Clown of the Week.
He may get the Clown of the Week award this week when he loses to fucking Villanova.
Yeah, that would be something.
Like, so I know we're kind of backtracking, but I feel this is worth a mention. You want to talk about this guy who probably also was a 1A, 1B with Lane Kiffin for
good runner-up.
His fucking shirt.
So Jalen Carter, I'm sure everybody also knows what he did with the spitting incident and Dak Prescott. I'm an Eagles fan, so this hurts me to say, but what a jackass. I don't care what happened before that. It's just something you don't do. And he just says all the wrong things and does all the wrong things at the wrong time. He's a hell of a player, but the guy's a mess. There's no way around it. But I'm an Eagles fan, so I've been hearing about this all week. I'm ready to move on. I'm glad he didn't get the Clown of the Week award thanks to that woman, but he's right there, right behind her.
He literally changed the whole game before they even took a snap.
No question about it.
There's no way Dallas would have moved up and down the field. I'm sorry.
No.
There's no way in hell they would have moved up and down the field like that. And we might as well just mention it now. How the hell does that game not hit the over? The weather delay, I think, affected it. But, dude, if you had the over, right,
yeah.
you were sitting there. If you fell asleep, you're like, I'm sitting pretty good. It was 21-20 and a half, right? Or 20, 21-20 and a half.
Yeah.
So depending on what you got it at, you're sitting there thinking, I'm pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. And you wake up and you score 3 points in the second half.
I've taken notice, though, about these weather delays. Every game so far that had a weather delay, everybody comes out flat. I mean, it's such an adrenaline dump when you start a game. And then to go and have that delay and come back, it's hard. It's hard to get back up for it. And I see that every time it's happened, the same thing, same result.
Did you see that nitwit? Was it Trayvon Diggs was looking for food and was trying to walk to the concourse to get food, and then one of the catering guys was bringing food, so he like turned around. What the fuck are you doing lking for food, dude? What are dude, are you that hungry? And I'm sure there had to be food in the locker room somewhere. Like, what are you trying to walk? Fuck Cowboys. Fuck them. They suck. So enough about Jalen Carter and his nonsense, and the Cowboys still suck, so it doesn't matter. I just made a couple notes. I'm just going to give you like rapid fire and you can interject or tell me I'm an idiot. But I just did like a couple takeaways from college football and the NFL this week. So I'm just going to hit you with a rapid fire. So we already said Lane Kiffin's an idiot. I thought Mississippi State got a big win against Arizona State. Stark Vegas was they were storming the field. Could be
cowbells.
Yeah,
that's a great
cowbell.
I'll tell you what, that's a great environment. I get sick of hearing the cowbells if I was there, but it's a great watch on TV
for sure. And it'd be nice if they were relevant again, or they're on the way. I mean, that was a big win for that program. Tennessee looks better than, at least in my opinion. I didn't think, they had a new quarterback coming in, young kid. I didn't think they did play Syracuse the first week, but I didn't think that they would look as good as they did coming into Georgia. To me, coming into this Georgia meeting, which we'll get to in a little bit, they look like the better team. Georgia looks flat the first two games. Now, are they just hard? Georgia's always hard to get up for these shit schools that they play, and I get it. Yeah. But Tennessee, to me, my eyes are telling me Tennessee looks better than what I thought.
Your eyes are telling you what everybody's seeing too, though, and that's why I'll probably end up taking Georgia this week. Yeah. It really is. I mean, it's setting up for a Georgia win and cover. It really is.
It is. I shouldn't even bring this up, but ESPN played right along with CBS, what they did a couple weeks ago, and I was watching the replay of I had it as background noise, I should say, BYU Stanford game, and it just started. I didn't have a chance to turn the channel. It was like ESPN or ESPN2, whatever channel was on real late.
Let me guess, Andrew Luck.
I wanted to stab myself in the eye with a fork. It was like the first 10 minutes of the game. There's a football game on the fucking field, and they're sitting there saying, Andrew Luck, he's done so much. And if I hear one more time that Frank Reich was in the line at Costco with a cart full of groceries and Andrew Luck called him to take the fucking Stanford job, I'm going to lose my mind. And then he showed Andrew Luck riding around on a bicycle on campus and talking to people and on the sideline. And what is it with that? Dude?
Frank Reich might be back at Costco getting groceries pretty freaking soon.
Yeah, he might be working at Costco soon. That fucking team sucks. Since we are kind of a betting program here, I guess one stat that from college football, at least, I thought was interesting was, this is a lot, so follow me here. So if you were in front of every 3-point or more move in FBS versus FBS market, so the sides or totals, you were 47 and 37, so 56% this year. If you faded every 3-point or more move in FBS versus FBS market, right before kickoff, you were 49, 34, and 1, or 59% this year.
So I'm trying to understand this. So if they're saying let's say Oklahoma was a 7-point favorite, and then it came down to 4 by kickoff. If you're saying if you had Oklahoma laying the 4,
if you got in front of the line, like you took it,
actually it would be the dog. So if you're saying, let's say Oklahoma's playing Michigan, and Michigan was +7, came down to +4, but you had it at 7. You had that closing line value of 3. That's not surprising. That's so important. That's why we preach every week to get the best line you can. To have that closing line value at the before a game starts, it makes a big difference.
Example you use, that Michigan Oklahoma line, that did move quite a bit from start to close. So
another good example of that is who played Louisville this past week. You actually had it. James Madison. So that, James Madison was a 16.5, and I didn't post this game, but I had them at 16.5. The line moved too much. I didn't want to post it at 14. Thankfully, I didn't. It would have been a push either way, but Tom, you got on it late, right, at 14, and that was the difference between a push and a win. So that's a perfect example.
Yeah, because I'm an idiot.
Got to the party late. All the hot girls were gone.
Yeah, day late and $1 short.
That's right.
So we kind of know what we're talking about here as a betting program. That stat does back up what we say to, now some of us, myself, don't always take our own advice, or you just last minute decide to play a game because you see something, injury report or something. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. Now, real quick, I'm just going to give you 5 NFL. AFC is either going to go through Buffalo or Baltimore. The Chiefs are fucking dead. Russell Wilson stinks. I already said that. Mike McDaniel is going to be the first coach to get fired because he sucks. Chargers look a lot better than I thought. They're like
they certainly do.
Pass first instead of run first now. Herbert,
big believer in that quarterback. Aren't you? You have to be. I think he's shown now.
I thought he was good coming out. I just thought the system and what they were doing his first few years in the league didn't suit what he was capable of doing. Clearly now he's developed. You have a different offensive scheme in there. Your pass first, run second. Look what that kid did. That kid was on fire.
Legit.
Whew. And the Lions are fucking stuck in first gear, and I don't want to hear. I do not want to hear they have a new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, because Jalen Hurts has a new coordinator every fucking year, and the guy won a Super Bowl. So you know what, Goff, suck it and figure it out, because you're going to lose to the Bears this week if you don't figure it out.
I'm very curious to see what happens in week 2, whether this is just a funk or if this is a new offensive identity, that they're not that high powered. Thing that we thought.
And I can't remember their new offensive coordinator's name, but he has been there since like 2022 or 2023. So I don't know, like assistant to the assistant general manager, whatever the fuck. He wasn't the coordinator, but he was still involved with the team. So it's not like he's coming in fresh. I mean, he's been there. So why is there this big drop off?
I wonder how. I didn't watch any post-game interviews. I wonder what Dan Campbell, I wonder if this is just, I was curious. I wanted to check out his post-game. I just didn't know if he was going to be the Dan Campbell to take it in stride, or if he's, thinks there's a problem there in Detroit.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. I'm curious. But if they start 0-2,
that's a problem.
That's a problem.
Those people in Detroit aren't going to be okay with starting 0-2.
No, because everybody's fading the Tigers too. So they thought they had a World Series contender with the Tigers, and this
fell off pretty quick.
Yeah, fade those fuckers. I do have one other quick betting stat, and I didn't realize this either. The NFL the kickoff rule changed where they moved the touchback up to.
I'm a fan, by the way. I'm a fan.
Yeah, well, you're gonna like this then, because they moved the touchback to the 35-yard line. NFL had the highest kick return rate since 2010. Teams returned 76% of kickoffs in week 1. That's so highest rate in 15 years. So I guess the NFL kind of knows what they're doing with some things.
It's good for NFL football. For how many years touchbacks were all you saw? It's good.
The unders, by the way, dominated. Unders were 12-4 in week 1 NFL. Yeah. So
interesting.
I don't know if you got anything to add to that, or if you're just done with
No, you pretty much summed it up. I like your take on Russell Wilson. I think he's pretty much stinks. He's done. And I don't think the Chiefs are going to be dead. I hate doing it. I won't bet against my Eagles, but I advise that you guys take the Chiefs this week, because they probably win and cover.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing on that yet. I'm gonna be honest. It's not on my picks list this week, and that's gonna be like a last minute thing, just like the barn burner in Buffalo. Dude, I was sitting there at halftime, and I was like, let me pull up and see what the Bills money line is. So I threw some pizza money on the Bills money line at plus 340. Just for the hell of it. I didn't want to take anything going into it, because I just wanted to enjoy the game, because I knew it was going to be good. And then when I saw they were down, I was like, let me check what the money line is. So I threw a little bit on it, cashed it, and I lost it with the fucking Bears the next night. A couple things. Saquon documentary comes out October 9th.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Martin Scorsese, executive producer. I guess it goes back the last 5 years. From his injury to his last few years with the Giants, the fallout with the Giants, and then him coming to the Eagles. Comes out the same night the Eagles play the Giants on Thursday Night Football on Amazon. That's all I got for like college football, NFL. But real quick, because we're kind of not going to give a fuck about baseball, but Schwarber hit number 50. So
yeah,
kudos to him. And the fucking Dodgers are going to play themselves right out of the playoffs, even though 2 out of the last 3 games or 2 out of the last 4 games, they almost pitched a no-hitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
This could be the first year since
there hasn't been a no-hitter this year.
Has not been a no.
Oh, that's right. Someone took it what 8-3.
Yamamoto took it 8-2. Well, he took it to 1 out. We had
there was 2 out in the 9th, right?
2 out. Yeah, he had 8 2/3, and
the guy hit a bomb though too, didn't he? It wasn't just a hit. He launched one.
Yes, he fucking launched it. So there has not been a no hitter this year. If that holds true, that'll be the first time in 20 years since 2005. Wow. I don't know if you have anything on baseball or if we're just get to that later.
No, I'm just actively. I'm actually enjoying watching baseball this season, and I'm getting excited for playoff baseball. You don't have to watch baseball all season. Watch playoff baseball. There's something about it. Yeah. There's something about it, especially this year. Watching the Phillies, especially for me, is going to be nice. It's going to be awesome when the closing opportunity in the 9th inning and they run Duran out there with the music playing. That'll be electric.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Playoff baseball is always good. You got these teams. The Phillies are going to hit their way through the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, and I'm excited to see what Walker Buehler does. I think he did his rehab start or his 1 start at Lehigh Valley.
Lehigh Valley.
So
AAA affiliate.
I haven't heard. I'm thinking he's done, so I'm thinking he's probably up with the big league staff now. But
I think he is.
So maybe more on Walker Buehler next week because I'm excited to see what he does. I think that's going to be good for the Phillies. Have so much football. Pretty much it for opening lines. The news certainly is going to stop here, but it's not stopping because we could keep going. We're just going to run the board and go across the board, giving you straight facts. Betting stats, the biggest games that matter this week in all sports, whether or not you or we have money on them.
I just want to talk about the games that we have. Maybe they're not necessarily, probably the best games of the week. Maybe some would say some primetime matchups. We'll start off with the biggest primetime matchup for Tom is alma mater. You got Temple. I will tell you this, typically a sleepy spot for a noon game, team traveling to Temple. I don't think Temple might not be a bad bet taking those points. I could tell you it has come down. It opened at like 28. It's down to like 24. That's telling me people are putting money on Temple. Maybe there's something to be said there. That's a noon kickoff. We have on ABC, probably the best game of the week, in my opinion. You got Georgia and that Tennessee team that you talked about.
Why is that a 3:30 game?
I was surprised to see it as a 3:30 game. That would have been a perfect evening game. Perfect.
ESPN, ABC, it's all the same shit. So why are they putting this game? They knew this game was, I could look who the night game is, but
it's Arkansas. I think it's Arkansas Ole Miss. That's going to be.
Yeah, that is like a 7:30 kick. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that Georgia Tennessee game should be a good game. It's, I think Georgia's a 6.5 point favorite. Maybe it moved a little bit since then, but listen, you called it, Tom. Tennessee looks better than we thought. People have seen them looking better, and this is usually when they lay a goose egg. It sets up for Georgia who plays down to their opponents, and then they'll get up for a game like this. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Georgia victorious in a 2-touchdown victory here.
Yeah, and Kirby's smart. He is pretty smart. He's not going to show anything against these first 2 teams anyway. He knew what was on. If Georgia was like week 6 or 7, I'm sure they would have beat the shit out of these 2 teams. He knew what was coming week 3, right?
Yeah.
Why is he going to show? It's a conference opponent. Why are you going to give up everything? So I think you're right. It's more and more looking like Georgia could just blow them out.
It's possible.
It's really possible.
And then you have the other 3:30 game on CBS or Paramount, USC against Purdue. That's going to be. They might not be able to stop. Purdue actually put up a lot of points in their first game, and there's could be a lot of points scored in this game. I'm thinking USC is still like a 21, maybe 21 in the hook favorite. But you won't see me touching that. Still don't trust USC's defense to get enough stops. I know they've improved, but still, offense could score all day long though. a 4:30 game. Hey, how about the CW network? I don't know how much money they spent to get these games, but they're getting into college football action. I was surprised to see how many games are on this network. 4:30, they got the USF Miami game. I like a side in that. I'll hold on to that for a second, but yeah, I definitely have a side in that game. USF has looked tough, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I also have that game. So I made a couple of notes on that because I figured we'd probably get into that.
Let's talk about it. Sure.
Yeah, because last week you and I were off the USF, right? We're kind of like that numbers it looks too good to be true. Everybody's going to jump on it. And then they go in and they beat the shit out of Florida. I mean, Florida looked flat. I did not expect that at all. So then I'm looking at this. I'm like, kind of the same thing, right? Now Miami looked a lot better than Florida if you look at the past couple of weeks. But, so South Florida, a couple of things that I just took a note here. So when I did my research, it was 17.5, which I think is still pretty much right around there. 17.
It is. Yeah. I just checked. I took it when it was 16.5, but yeah, it's up to 17.5.
Yeah. So I'm just going to, normally we don't give our picks away. We like to tease the picks here, but I'm just going to tell you, I'm on South Florida. Now, South Florida.
Wait, did you say you're taking South Florida?
Yeah.
You're on that bandwagon.
Oh, yeah, Tom, I'm probably a day late and a dollar short.
This is the perfect buy low, sell high point. Everybody is seeing how well they played. It's a perfect time to get off of the bandwagon.
I know, but I'm going to stay on it. I want to ride it till the wheels fall off.
Hey, I've seen it happen before. I have. I just don't think it's going to happen this week, buddy.
So I was looking at a little bit of revenge handicapping, which is really bad to fucking do. So in that case, South Florida is 20-13 against the spread in revenge mode since 2016, which is part of the reason why I did that. And then also in games where there's two ranked teams since 2017, the home teams are 199 and 95 straight up, and 172, 114, and 8 against the spread, which that, however, contradicts what my pick is, because that would tell you to take Miami.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm going to probably lose that one. Just mark that. It's probably going to end in the shitter. But I don't know. I just kind of feel like, you know what? Maybe these kids are going to just ride that momentum right into Miami, and maybe Miami's going to have a little bit of a letdown because they beat Florida State. Oh my God, Notre Dame. Right? So maybe their confidence is a little too high, but Miami is really good. I don't know.
You know what? You brought up a good point. I do. The one thing I don't like about the Miami pick is that they are coming off a game that they had to get up for. Like I'd much rather wish they played somebody else and didn't have such a big game the game prior. I'd much rather them not coming off a big game. But I will say this: South Florida had to get up for two big games. They came out and they looked great. It's just so hard in college football to get up. And now you're playing the team and you have their attention. Like South Florida, Miami's not rolling in there thinking, we're just going to go past South Florida. No, they hear, listen, they're from the same state, goddammit. They hear all this hype about South Florida's for real. This team is for real. You got Miami's attention 100%. And I'm not so sure you want it this week. I really not so sure they do. Enough said. We will tell. Time will tell. Either you're coming on here next week and saying you're an idiot, or I'm coming on saying I don't know shit. We'll see.
Yeah. So
I just want to talk about the games that we have. Maybe they're not necessarily, probably the best games of the week. Maybe some would say some primetime matchups. We'll start off with the biggest primetime matchup for Tom is alma mater. I will tell you this. Typically a sleepy spot for a noon game, team traveling to Temple. I don't think Temple might not be a bad bad bet taking those points. I could tell you it has come down. It opened at like 28. It's down to like 24. That's telling me people are putting money on Temple. Maybe there's something to be said there. That's a noon kickoff. We have on ABC, probably the best game of the week, in my opinion. You got Georgia and that Tennessee team that you talked about, Tom.
Why is that a 3:30 game?
I was surprised to see it as a 3:30 game. That would have been a perfect evening game. Perfect.
ESPN, ABC, it's all the same shit. So why are they putting this game? Do they knew this game was? I could look who the night game is, but
it's
why?
Arkansas. I think it's Arkansas Ole Miss. That's what that's going to be.
Yeah, that is like a 7:30 kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that Georgia Tennessee game should be a good game. It's, I think Georgia's a 6.5 point favorite. Maybe it moved a little bit since then, but listen, you called it, Tom. Tennessee looks better than we thought. People have seen them looking better, and this is usually when they lay a goose egg. It sets up for Georgia, who plays down to their opponents, and then they'll get up for a game like this. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Georgia victorious in a 2-touchdown victory here.
Yeah, and Kirby's smart. He is pretty smart. I mean, he's not going to show anything against these first two teams anyway. He knew what was on. Dude, if Georgia was like week 6 or 7, I'm sure they would have beat the shit out of these two teams. He knew what was coming week 3, right?
Yeah.
Why is he going to show? It's a conference opponent. Why are you going to give up everything? So I think you're right. I mean, it's more and more looking like Georgia could just blow them out.
It's possible.
It's really possible.
And then you have the other 3:30 game on CBS or Paramount, USC against Purdue. That's going to be. They might not be able to stop. Purdue actually put up a lot of points in their first game, and there's could be a lot of points scored in this game. I'm thinking USC is still like a 21, maybe 21 and a hook favorite. But you won't see me touching that. Still don't trust USC's defense to get enough stops. I mean, I know they've improved, but still, offense could score all day long though. A 4:30 game. Hey, how about the CW network? I don't know how much money they spent to get these games, but they're getting into college football action. I was surprised to see how many games are on this network. 4:30, they got the USF Miami game. I like a side in that. I'll hold on to that for a second, but yeah, I definitely have a side in that game. USF has looked tough, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I also have that game. I made a couple of notes on that because I figured we'd probably get into that.
Let's talk about it, sure.
Yeah, because last week you and I were off the USF. We're kind of like that numbers it looks too good to be true. Everybody's going to jump on it, and then they go in and they beat the shit out of Florida. I mean, Florida looked flat. I did not expect that at all. Then I'm looking at this, and Miami looked a lot better than Florida if you look at the past couple of weeks. So South Florida, a couple of things that I just took a note here. It was 17.5, which I think is still pretty much right around there, 17.
It is. Yeah, I just checked. I took it when it was 16.5, but yeah, it's up to 17.5.
Normally we don't give our picks away. We like to tease the picks here, but I'm just going to tell you, I'm on South Florida. Now, South Florida.
Wait, did you say you're taking South Florida?
Yeah.
You're on that bandwagon. Oh,
I'm probably a day late and $1 short.
This is the perfect buy low, sell high point. Everybody is seeing how well they played. It's a perfect time to get off of the bandwagon.
I know, but I'm going to stay on it. Right until the wheels fall off.
Hey, I've seen it happen before. I think it's going to happen this week, buddy.
I was looking at a little bit of revenge handicapping, which is really bad to fucking do. So in that case, South Florida is 20-13 against the spread in revenge mode since 2016, which is part of the reason why I did that. And then also in games where there's two ranked teams since 2017, the home teams are 199 and 95 straight up, and 172, 114 and 8 against the spread. Which that, however, contradicts what my pick is, because that would tell you to take Miami. Yeah. I'm going to probably lose that one. Just mark that. It's probably going to end in the shitter. But I don't know. Dude, I just kind of feel like, you know what? Maybe these kids are going to just ride that momentum right into Miami, and maybe Miami's going to have a little bit of a letdown because they beat Notre Dame. Right? So maybe their confidence is a little too high, but Miami is really good. I don't know.
You know what? You brought up a good point. I do. The one thing I don't like about the Miami pick is that they are coming off a game that they had to get up for. Like I'd much rather wish they played somebody else, and didn't have such a big game the prior. I'd much rather them not coming off a big game. But I will say this: South Florida had to get up for 2 big games. They came out and it's great. It's just so hard in college football to get up. And now you're playing the team and you have their attention. Like South Florida, Miami's not rolling in there thinking, oh, we're just going to go past South Florida. No, they hear, listen, they're from the same state. God damn it. They hear all this hype about South Florida's for real. This team is for real. You got Miami's attention 100%. And I'm not so sure you want it this week. I really not so sure they do. Either you're coming on here next week and saying you're an idiot, or I'm coming on saying I don't know shit.
One reason, I can tell you another reason other than the revenge handicapping method that's probably going to blow up in my face. But it's like you said, it's hard to get up for 3 big games right in a row. And I can tell you, if all 3 of these games were not in the state of Florida, I would have been off that USF bandwagon faster than you could say boo. But they played Boise, Tampa, they went to Gainesville, and now they're going to Miami. Travel-wise, they're pretty much sleeping in their own bed, right? It's not going to be, travel's not going to play a factor into this. It's still hard to get up for 3 big games in a row.
Yeah.
But they're still within the same geographic region. It's not going to impact them. So that's no reason why. If this were like at a neutral site, even in, say, if it was in New Orleans or in Atlanta, I would have laid off of it. But I mean, who knows? It's probably going to blow up in my face.
That makes that's a good, valid argument. And honestly, I didn't think about that at all. It's not changing my pick though. The last game worth mentioning here, I would say, is Texas A&M Notre Dame. That's 7:30 on NBC. Yeah, some people like that. I got a lot of Notre Dame fans. I don't necessarily have an opinion on that. I think the line is right around 6.5. So Notre Dame almost laying a touchdown at home. I don't know. I honestly, I thought that line would be a little higher. I thought Notre Dame would get more respect.
Yeah, I thought so too. I do have a. Do I have a play in that? I think I do. It's on my sheet. We'll see if it made the final cut. But I did think it was going to be higher, considering Texas A&M is 3-12 straight up, and 3-11-2, which is 21% against the spread on the road since 2021.
Yeah.
I feel like it should have been 9, 10, somewhere almost double digits for Notre Dame, because Notre Dame played Miami good. I was just a freshman quarterback. Game ended not how you wanted it to.
Yeah.
Right? It was just a toss up really at the end, right? I mean, it's
right.
I don't know. And Texas A&M coming Notre Dame, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's just see what happens.
I'll be watching it because there's nothing else on, but I'm not real excited for that game, if I'm being real honest.
Yeah. One I do like, I hate Minnesota, but I love that quarterback at Cal. I'll be watching that night game
too.
At Minnesota Cal. I like Cal getting, I saw it at 2.5. I think some books are 1.5. I like that they're a home dog. And I think that Minnesota coach is a fraud. I don't like him. I think he's an idiot. I could see Cal. I don't know. I just liked them in that spot. They're 27-15 against the spread as a dog since 2018. That total was 40. I saw it at 42.5. Since 2022, games with totals of 49 or lower, the sharp money tends to be on the under, where the public goes the other way. 72% of the sharp money has been on the under. It's gone 57 and 42, 57% cash rate. You know what Minnesota's going to do? They're going to run the ball, right? So they're going to try to just, milk the clock because they suck. So the only thing that scares me about, I'd rather take the 2.5. I was going to play it just because of Cal being a home dog, and that kid's good and he can sling it. I feel like Cal can put up points. Minnesota's not going to score, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a good game.
Minnesota put up like 66 last week, I think it was. What they win by last week? Where they played, but that's part of the reason why I actually like Cal this week. Minnesota putting up a big number last week, coming back this week and laying a goose egg.
USC Purdue, because USC did the same thing last week. They had a pretty big week and a ton of yards, a ton of points. So a prolific offensive performance. So FBS teams that gained 735 or more yards offensively in their prior game have gone 31-44 against the spread in the follow-up game since 2012. That's like a 41% cover rate.
Tommy stats here. You got them all. You got them all.
Hey, numbers don't lie, people do. So give me.
That's right.
So you're right. That's a lot to to keep that momentum going and keep that offensive run. And Minnesota's a Big Ten school. They suck, so who cares?
Yeah.
But I did, and I'm going to see if I can get this right. We were talking about the kid from Cal, right? And
you gonna try to say his name?
I'm gonna try, because I wrote this down here. Sound it out like this is like a hooked on phonics. So, Yoran Keve Saga Palete. I think that's how.
Sounds good to me. That works for me. I'll go with the kid from Cal.
Yeah, give me that kid all day long. That kid's got a name like he should be playing for Hawaii. What the hell? So Thursday night, and like we said, for the sake of this program, it'll be the Redskins and not that other stupid name. So we got the Redskins and the Packers. I feel like it's Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay looked really good. Was that kind of like overhype? Are they just kind of just a lot of momentum there? They got up because it's the Lions. Not that Washington isn't good, but a conference team, I don't know.
I'll be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if Washington wins this game.
I
wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's going to be a good game. I'm not going to take it, but I'm not going to be somebody there on Friday morning saying, "Holy shit, how did that happen?"
Yeah,
I think that Washington's good enough to play with just about any team. It's just going to be, how well these young players come together and how well they could gel as a team. Because they have all the pieces, that's for sure. Yeah,
definitely. I don't. If the Redskins do win, I don't see them going to Green Bay and blowing them out.
No.
Like, it's not going to be like 10, 14 points. It's going to be within a touchdown, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I just look at the way the Packers played week one, right? And I always say this, look at the line. When you look at the line, it tells you a lot. You look at the way the Packers played, and I mean, okay, take that half away. Their Packers are a freaking field goal favorite, a field goal on their home Lambeau Field. I mean, that worries me a little bit if I'm a Packers bettor, I'll tell you that much.
You're right. And it makes you want to go the other side, right? If you're looking at sports betting in general, it's a market, just like a stock market. So just because maybe you have all Apple devices doesn't necessarily mean you should maybe buy Apple stock. Not that Apple stock's bad, but you get what I'm saying. Like, this is a market too. If you're an Eagles fan, like we are, we're not sitting there taking the Eagles every week. We're not even bet the game because we want to enjoy the game, right? So you kind of don't want to just bet with your heart. It's like what Mike said. You want to look at the line and what's it telling you. They just steamrolled the fucking Lions last week, right? The Lions look like trash, and they're only technically a 3-point favorite at home.
So sometimes when things look too good to be true, you really have to take a second look at it and say, does it seem like Las Vegas is asking me to bet the Packers because it's too easy? And if you answer that yes, you kind of want to stay away.
Right. They set the lines for a reason. They don't want to lose. So they know the public is going to be like all over oh my God, the Packers 3-9. Give me that all day long. Well, right. And it's going to flip to the other side and you're going to be the contrarian and go the other way. But that's where the sharp money or the smarter move is in these cases.
And we're not saying that always happens. Like, no. The Packers may come out and win by 2 touchdowns on Thursday night. That's not out of the realm of possibilities. But doing this as long as I have, I'd take the other side of this game every single time, and I'd win more games than I would lose across 100 games. That's for sure. I would guarantee you that.
You're not gonna win them all, but it's the same thing like we talked about before, playing cards, playing blackjack.
Yep.
You hit on 16, you stay on 17. Are you going to win every hand doing that? No, because other people around you are going to screw up the rotation sometimes, but you're not going to win every hand. Same thing with this. You're playing these lines, looking at it as a market, not as where your heart's leading, and you're not going to win every one. But you can go to sleep at night saying, you know what? I did the right thing. I took Washington here because the easy money is on Green Bay, right? Yep. So we've seen college and NFL in the first few weeks of each of those seasons, a lot of line movements. From going from a dog to a favorite within 24-hour period. I mean, the Texas-Ohio State game was one. I mean, look at the Eagles line move as soon as Parsons was traded, right? They didn't cover that either. I mean, there was a lot of moves early on, which you don't see a lot.
So I was on the golf course the other day with a friend from work, and I just had this conversation with them, and they said, if your logic is true, and every big gambler knows this, then why doesn't Vegas adjust for it? Because they know everybody's going to take the Commanders because it looks too good to be true. And the answer to that is, yes, there are big gamblers, and they know that when something looks too good to be true, it usually is, and you take the other side. But what you're not accounting for is John Doe, every average citizen at home who only takes maybe $20 bets, $15, $50 bets. You take all of those across America and you add those up, you're getting a hell of a lot more money than even the big time gamblers. There's so many of those people, even with all these, especially with all these apps and all these different online gambling sites, that money adds up to be a collective chunk. And those mom and pops and those average Joes are betting that Packers game because it looks too damn easy. Yeah. So you still have those, and you have to take those people into consideration.
That's a really good point, because those $10, $15, $20 bets, which, hey, that's fine. That's what your bankroll allows, and that's where you're betting. That's fine. But you're not going to move the needle one way or the other. The sharp money is going to move the line. So you might have 80% of the bets on the Packers, but 90% of the money is on Washington, because there's more money, larger sums wagered with less bets, right? So that's how you can follow those betting splits and figure out where's the public and where's the sharp money. And it's like we said, the sharps aren't going to be right every time, and neither is the public. Yep. But I'd rather go with a sharp bet than a public bet any day, and then go to sleep knowing I lost that one, I'll get it back. And listen, I'm an idiot, and I still do it. Don't chase fucking bets. And Mike will tell you that. Don't chase bets. Yeah. It's so bad.
You never win doing that.
No.
Just get yourself in more of a hole.
No. So,
all right. So we can't get off of this Packers Redskins game here.
That's done. You like anything in the 1 o'clock? These games are.
I'll be honest. My card this week, it's a lot of games that you don't want to watch. It's crap games, but that's where I found some value at. So
I have one NFL play this week. That's it.
We'll get to those. But no, 1 o'clock games. I think the Ravens Browns. Even though the line's not going to tell you it's going to be a good game, it might be a little better than the line shows. I mean, it's 11.5. When you get into those conference division games, they always end up to be knock them out, grind them out games. That may have potential to happen, or it could be a blowout.
Or Baltimore is going to be pissed at what happened last week and just going to jam it down their throat. So no, Giants, Cowboys. Wait, I just have a quick question. I don't want to talk about this game really, but just a brief mention, because I think the Saints are terrible, and I didn't take them specifically, but as a future pick, I picked that there would be an offer, so there'd be a team without a win this year. Banking on the Saints wouldn't win a fucking game because they suck. But now you got Purdy hurt, and you got Kittle hurt for at least the next 3-4 weeks, right? Purdy's got multiple injuries. Kittle's a hamstring. It's in New Orleans, a West Coast team coming kind of east, and you got Mac Jones starting. That just seems like a weird.
If it were any other team, I just think the San Fran has good enough coaching staff that they could put a game plan together where you could be the quarterback on Sunday and they're still going to get a win.
Spencer Rattler.
I mean, you're going against Spencer Rattler, so I think Shanahan, the boys will have a good game plan together, and I think they get it done and walk out of there with a dub.
Yeah, I just thought it was weird that line moved quite a bit when they announced Purdy and Kittle were hurt. It just seemed like they're
from 7 to 3.
Yeah, like it's not like the Saints have a quarter. They don't have a quarterback. Like, who's that kid? Taysom Hill. Is that kid still on the team? Why'd you play that kid? If Taysom Hill was their quarterback, I might take a flyer on that game just for the hell of it and throw some pizza money on the Saints to see what happens. Yeah. But you're not going to convince me to pick them with Spencer Rattler. No way in hell. Yeah. All right, I just wanted your quick opinion on that because I just thought it was interesting how that line moved.
I guess you got the Philadelphia game at 4 o'clock on Fox. Eagles Chief. Yeah, I won't have a bet on that game. And if I had to bet the game, I would take the Chiefs. But I just don't want to jinx myself. I think the Chiefs most likely win and get the cover just because they lost last week. I think they're not going to want to go 0-2. I think they're in trouble if they go 0-2. But I will tell you though, I watch that team and it doesn't make me scared. Mahomes doesn't make me scared like he did in the past. Like, no. They just don't look explosive anymore.
The only thing, and I like where you're thinking with Kansas City, the only thing that concerns me is that team is older and the travel. Eagles had an extra day of rest, extra day of rest, and the travel time coming from Brazil, getting adjusted. I think that's going to play an end. I'm not going to touch the game, but I think the over-under is 46 and a half, 47, somewhere. If I was going to play it, I would be leaning maybe toward the over just because I'm not saying Kansas City's going to put up a bunch of points because of like with the travel and all that shit. But I think the Eagles, that offense, I mean, dude, when the hell A.J. Brown caught a pass, what, the third quarter or fourth? I mean,
I'm glad you brought that up.
So
I forgot to check.
The total. The Eagles get the almost hit that over-under themselves, I feel. Right? Like, I don't know.
Here's a winner for you guys. Go get it right now. I'll be honest. I don't even know what the total amount is, but take the over for amount of catches for you just said his name,
A.J. Brown.
Yeah, A.J. Brown. Take the over because listen, I'm from the Philly area. I listen to sports talk radio in Philly all day long. Listen, they beat this like a dead horse about this not getting him any touches. You better believe the Eagles are going to come out and make a conscious effort to get him the ball. He is getting over the posted total for catches this week. Bank it, take it, make yourself some money.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that. Why can't I find that?
Looking for a total receptions.
Yeah, I'm getting his receiving yards. I'm not seeing just his first reception.
Yeah, some of these. That's the problem with some of these apps. You have to dig through to find the stuff.
Well, I guess my first problem is I'm on fucking DraftKings and not Caesars. So that's the first problem.
That's a good point.
DraftKings is like digging through a dumpster and trying to find a fucking pick. So maybe
go to Caesars, you'll find it.
I mean, but Mike, I think it's a good point. I think taking the over on A.J. Brown, because you're right, they don't want to get him the ball. And it just worked out. And I think he would have got the ball sooner last week had there not been that delay, right? Because that just screwed everything up. The whole rhythm, they weren't trying to, they just want to get the hell out of there at that point, right? So, I don't know. I'm not finding it. But listen, you're right. Whatever it is, hammer it. Hammer the over for catches for A.J. Brown.
And then Sunday Night Football, we got Vikings and Falcons. That should be a good game. I think the Falcons might be for real. I'll tell you what. Yeah. They got a good running attack, man. Jeez. I wasn't shocked to see how well they moved the ball last week, but their offense looked pretty fluent.
Penix looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that kid looked pretty good.
And you know he gives you that mobility to be able to run the ball himself too. So he's always a threat there.
And Pitts, he got weapons to throw to.
Yeah.
So the only thing I did like though, because I didn't know what to expect from McCarthy on Monday night, and he didn't start off too hot. But I like the way he adjusted. I like the way he came out. And you could see his confidence getting better and better as the game went on. And I think he's got the right coaches there to develop him. So I did like that from him, and now he's going home. I don't know. I can tell you right now, I'm not playing it, but it could be a good game. Two young quarterbacks.
I expect it to be.
Maybe I don't know what the over is, but it could be a lot of scoring potentially there. But I think I'd like to watch that to see how McCarthy responds from that, 21 unanswered points against the Bears. And the Bears suck, but they usually have a pretty good defense. And that was rare that he did that. So it should be good.
And then we got two Monday Night Football games.
Yeah. ESPN whoring themselves out with two games on Monday.
Yeah. Bucks, Texans. It's a game to watch, I guess, right? You got the Chargers, Raiders. That should be a good game. I know you have a feeling on that game. We'll get to a little later.
I do.
Listen, you could always talk me into taking the fucking Raiders at home, especially on a Monday night. The people be going crazy. That's an easy game to get behind.
Yeah, and again, the travel just screws these teams up. I don't know. All right, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm taking the Raiders. But I'll get more into that.
I like that
in a couple of minutes. I like Pete Carroll. They look pretty good from what I saw against the Pats. They look pretty good.
Chomping on his gum on the sideline, walking up and down, and putting like 40,000 miles on up and down the sideline.
Not to dwell on this too much, but Pete Carroll's like mid-70s, I believe. Yeah, and Belichick, him and Belichick are like around the same age. But the difference between the two of them, Pete Carroll could probably run circles around you and I, and he's like 75.
No doubt.
And then you got Belichick, who looks like a slob and just looks like a mess. It's just Pete Carroll. Dude, Pete Carroll looks like he'd be out there running sprints with those guys.
I know. He looks great.
It's fun to see. It's fun to see that they can make some noise in that division, especially if Kansas City tails off a little bit. I think he's going to have them competitive. They'll be in games. I don't know what they're going to end up, but they'll be a lot better than last year. That's for sure. Watching those. So
we got an action pack week of NFL.
It is actually good. At least the Monday night game should be good. And the Sunday night game, and you got I think you got the Thursday night game, which is good. And then you start with the Eagles game at 4:25, rolling into Sunday night, and then the two Monday night games should be a pretty decent slate. You can maybe take a nap at the 1:00 games and just check your phone. I mean, unless you're degenerates like us, just put money on.
Just watch the red zone. That's all you got to do. Get the exciting parts every game. I love it, man. I love it.
So that'll wrap up across the board. Biggest games every week in every league, but it's pretty much just been football. Now this is where it gets fun.
Let's do it.
Cash it or trash it. This is where we see what makes the cut, how stupid we are, how good we are, and we're just gonna roll right in.
You win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day.
I want winners.
So, Mike, you want me to go first? You go first.
You take the lead there, Tommy.
All right, here we go. So we talked about this a little bit. Temple, Oklahoma. I got Temple. Mike, you're right. It did start out like 28.5, and now it's moving down. I got it at 22.5. It's a little late, but I think it's just one of those situational games. Oklahoma. It's a noon game. They're traveling east. Temple, Temple put up quite a few. They put 55 and 42 points up in their first couple games.
I like it.
I think Temple can make some noise. Are they going to win? No, but you can still get it at like plus 1060 at FanDuel on a money line if you want to put some pizza money on that. So I like Temple there. Fight, Cherry in the white. Let's go Temple. I'll probably get fucking smoked. Arkansas State getting 21 there. I like that game just because I think Iowa State is due for a letdown. I just feel like Arkansas State could cover that.
I like that too.
Oregon State 23 in the hook there. Was another one I took a flyer on. I just feel it's a lot of points. And just hoping for a cover, maybe even a push, get my money back. I don't know. I did take Notre Dame, 6 in the hook there, laying that against Texas A&M. I feel like they're definitely touchdown. If it was at 7, I can tell you I wouldn't have played it, but I feel like at the 6.5, I feel like if they win by a touchdown, I'm good. I did take Georgia Tech, getting 3.5 at home. I'm not sold on Clemson. They look like absolute dog shit. So my ACC pick to win that conference with Clemson might be in the trash can fairly soon. So thinking 2 ACC schools, Georgia Tech looks okay. They didn't really play anybody good either, but I'll take my chances with Georgia Tech. I'm looking at the eyeball test with Clemson. I don't know why the hell I took Tennessee, because I feel like the more we talk about it, the more it's Georgia, but
hey, you might be right there.
I don't know. It's probably gonna be Georgia, so it's worth that one.
You just got to go with it.
I can tell you, if it was at Georgia, I would take Georgia, and where the points were when it started out at 7 or 3 or 5 or anywhere in between. Even if it was 10, I'd take Georgia at home. But I think the home field just was, like I said, if it wasn't in Tennessee, if it was at Georgia, I'd be on the other side. But we'll see. Florida, LSU under. I just don't know how Florida's going to. Florida, I would hope, would come out with a little bit better display on both sides of the ball than last week against USF. Not a knock on USF, but they just look like shit. LSU, I think they have a really good defense. And if Florida plays like they did last week, now LSU could hit that total on their own. But if Florida just is can't get out of first gear, then it could be the underdog.
Yeah, we don't know what Florida's all about yet. We're gonna have to wait and see them play another game to see what's going on there.
Cal, we already touched on that. I'm taking Cal, getting 2.5 at home. I hate Minnesota. We talked about this game briefly. USC laying a ton of points on the road at Purdue. I'll take Purdue getting 3 touchdown spot at home. Now, I did notice when I was entering the picks, you and I are both on this UAB pick. I like that too. We're also on the Pitt West Virginia over. I couldn't decide on what side to go with, but I'm like, these teams are going to fucking score. Hammer the over on that one.
Yeah.
So give me that. And the Raiders. Give me 3.5. Pete Carroll and the Raiders. Not that I don't like the Chargers. I like the Raiders here, the travel. Let's be honest. The Chargers got up for that Chiefs game. Raiders at home. It's a new feel with Pete Carroll. I feel like Vegas has got a little bit more pep in their step with the Raiders. I feel like they got something now with the Raiders. So give me the Raiders.
All right. Rapid fire here, guys. I am joining you with that Pitt, West Virginia over. I think I got a little bit better of a line than you. I got 58. You got 58 and a hook. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite you or our audience here. So I will tell you, this next game is my favorite game of the week. I got North Texas, and I got this game at -4, but for the sake of the podcast, I know that number is not available. That is long gone. It's North Texas. So I'm going to post this at North Texas, not -6, and I'm still a believer in North Texas -6 against Wazoo. I think this game covers by at least 10 points, maybe even 2 touchdowns. Moving on, I got the Canes -16.5. I think South Florida comes down to earth. I like the fact that a lot of these players, so both these teams will recruit from the general Florida area. A lot of these players know each other. A lot of these guys know each other, all 4-star, 5-star recruits. There's bad blood sometimes between them. Miami's going to be up to play this game, and I feel like they get the cover. Probably my second best game of the week is...
I was going to interrupt there. The graphic designer and producer, me, is fired because I forgot to put my USF pick. I do have USF plus 17.5. I will amend this before I post this, so I'm going to fire myself. We need to hire an intern.
Or why don't you wait to see if it wins or lose, then post it?
I'll do that. Like all the touts do. They're like,
yeah.
That one. Yeah.
No, we're transparent here. Win or lose, we're transparent. Moving on. I'm gonna go along with you here. This UAB -10.5. I really like this game too. I'll tell you, UAB can put up points. I'm not the biggest fan of Trent Dilfer. He's not. Get a defense, Trent Dilfer. Then come talk to me, because you haven't put a defense out in the field in a couple of years. But he does have a good offense. They're clicking, and more importantly, the Akron Zips have been outscored 78-0 in their first 2 games. They're just trash, and it's not like they played, super great teams. They played Wyoming and they played Nebraska. I think this covers easily in UAB's home field.
I can tell you why I was on that real quick, not to interrupt, but UAB is 21-9, so 70% against the spread since 2020 at home. I was like, that's it.
Yeah. Plus, they got John Kitna's son that's a quarterback, Jalen Kitna.
Yeah,
love it. All right, moving on. I like Delaware plus the 10 against a team that I was on last week with UConn, who ended up pushing. Yeah, I think Delaware, they got their quarterback now. They played well last week. Taking Delaware plus 10. I'm going to ride this Buffalo team, one of the best teams in the MAC. They're laying 22.5, and I feel that they cover that spread.
Dude, I saw something when I saw that, when I saw you send those picks to me, and I saw that Buffalo game. And then, like an hour later, I was reading something when I was going through my picks and trying to finalize everything. And the one thing for Buffalo, which it's a great pick. Teams playing at home in conference games and coming off a blowout loss by more than 45 points are just 45 and 74 against the spread. That's not even 40%. That's like 38% since 2010. So, dude,
take that chance.
That's got Buffalo all over it. So
yeah, let's go.
Fade Kent State all day. So I like that. I was like, oh, that's a good pick.
And my last college game, I'm going to take, now I believe the line has come down a little bit if I'm being fair, but I'm going to give it as what I got it at. Northwestern plus 28. I think there's only 27.5s out there. That could make a big difference, but I think Northwestern hangs in there. They're not going to win by any means, but I think they get the cover here. Moving on to the NFL, hold your nose because these are stinky. I'm just letting you know right away. I'm not even going to give you any analysis on them, but just keep in mind I am 3-1 in the NFL, so you might want to listen. Give me the Titans plus 5.5. I got it at 6, but I'm putting it at 5.5. The Jets plus 6.5. Houston plus 2.5, and the Carolina Panthers. Oof, I know it's hard to do, but take the Panthers at plus 6.5. And those are the winners, boys and girls.
And we really need to fire the graphic designer and the producer here, me. Because I just realized I also forgot to put the Raging Cajuns on. I did the Raging Cajuns plus 27.5 against Missouri because Missouri had that big border war game last week against Kansas, and I feel like that's a letdown. I feel like the Raging Cajuns.
All right, you better get your picks up there.
I gotta edit these and get the correct picks up shortly that add my two, or I'll just wait till after and see if they hit. So that wraps up Cash It or Trash It for this week. We'll come back next week and grade this card. Some are winners, some are losers, some may be complete dumpster fires. The picks are locked in. We're going to close our book for this week. And now it's time to put our money where our mouth is. Listen, if your bets hit, hey, you're welcome. And if they don't, blame the rest, not us.
That's right.
So cash tickets, not feelings. We'll catch you next time. And Micah, do your thing with tell these people how they can find us here.
Please like, subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe again, tell a friend, tell an enemy, give us a 5-star review. We'll be forever grateful. Have a good week, guys, and we'll see you around the corner.
Good luck.
Thanks for tuning in to Off the Hook. If you're riding with the picks or fading them, hit subscribe and come back for more sharp takes and real action. See you next time.